All right. Everybody's jumping on and check it out. Boom. Now you just have to blow up chat so the box above me is not all purpley blank. We're going to do a little bit of a quick video, probably only about 30 minutes. I've never done a video like this before, but I thought it would be super, super fun. There's 10 of you that have jumped in. So the 10 or 20 or however many of you that do this, I've been asked by a couple of people, how do you plan your grand arena? Like, do you actually put effort into it, or do you just throw teams against the wall and see what sticks and all that? And absolutely, I plan my grand arena. I put a lot of effort into it. In fact, I put more than I probably should for the for the results. When I left the game, I really could care less about grand arena. I quit the game for 15 months. When I came back, I realized if I was going to come back and play the game and really enjoy this, I really needed to kind of embrace all of the game. That's kind of the point, right? Enjoy the game. And so when I came back, the whole point was to kind of get the pieces of the game and enjoy it. And so Grand Arena is one of those pieces that I have really started to embrace. And I have to say, over the last 6 months, I have gotten better. Definitely I'm not one of the best Grand Arena players, but being in the, top end number one since I've come back, it's been difficult. There's a lot of sharks know what they're doing. They've got, 15 months of playing Grand Arena over me. So they're really good. They've seen it all. And I had to kind of start fresh, 6 months ago. But I like to strategize. I like to go through here and go through all of this. And I wanted to show you how I do it. I am old school, and I mean old school. So I use a actual piece of paper and pencil or pen. And I'm going to go through. Now, I first pull up my Grand Arena history, and then up on the top where you have your menu, I just delete my code. Out of the top, I just delete my code, and then I put in the code of the individual user that I am playing. So here, let's go. It's just the fastest way. So this is the gentleman that I'm going to be playing, Shizonyu. Shizonyu. This is the guy that I'm going to be fighting. And you can go back and look at 7-5, 7-12, 7-19. So for example, here's 7-5. Here's a 5 versus 5. Here's a 7-12. And then you can go back and here's 7-19. Now we're going to start with the last round. And if you really want to get in depth, you can go through all 3 rounds. And if I'm really getting to the end wire and I really want to win, I might go back through, 9 battles, to really see trends. Cause we are all creatures of habit, no matter what we think about ourselves. We are all creatures of habit. Now, I don't like being a creature of habit, so I try to change up my defense a lot. What my defense looks like now is very different from what it looked like last 3. So if they were to look at my last 3 comparatively to now, they might find 4 teams similar, but the other teams are tweaked quite a bit. So we're going to start with round 1. So def. I also look at winners, losers, things like this. Nerd Ninja, what's up? So it looks like he lost by a point. Man, that is really painful. We're going to look at his defense first, then we go to offense second. So I always do defense first. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tally of what he's doing. And I like to put what he's doing and then some of the teams that people use to beat his teams. And so it was a Ray team, and it looks like they actually were able to see Watt this, but they used the armorer to ensure the win, because he's it's probably a pretty high health. And it was, it looks like, he ran Ray with the 500 and first. So Ray 501st. And I don't know if a video like this is going to help benefit you guys at all or not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So we'll see. But I'm going to put C Watt Armorer as the team they used. And then his other defense was CLS. He actually put CLS on defense. CLS is kind of a can opener, so I like to use CLS for offense, but I do occasionally put him on defense. So, CLS is one of those. Skate, this is actually my third stream of the day, if you can believe that. I'm just excited, man. Super excited. I did a test stream. It was about 25 minutes long. We had some fun there, figuring out everything. And then we did a second stream, my birthday stream, which was super fun. And now we're doing a quick 30-minute stream on my Grand Arena, basically my preparation, checking them out. Mon Mothma, MM, kind of a weird team to put on defense, only because if it can get going, it's good, but it's such a great team for offense against like General Grievous or some of the B-level teams that people might put on defense. He's got a standard Sith Empire team. We'll put DR for Darth Revan. I'll want to look at speeds on his Darth Revan, so let me do that real quick on my phone. That's one reason why I use my phone at the same time. His Darth Revan is 313, nothing to write home about. That could very easily be taken care of. In fact, it looks like they used bounty hunters, which is an old school counter. Wasn't very clean. It was only 51 banners, but yeah, that's definitely, you could use that, or you could use Imperial Troopers for that. So Darth Revan, and I would put IT probably on that. MM, I'd probably put Triumvirate against that. CLS, it looks like he did a mirror match. Curious. Let me see what his Han is for a mirror match. Relic 8 and missing a mod, 235 speed, and missing a mod, or at least it's missing a mod on here for now. That could be wrong as of right now, but looks like I could probably do a mirror match, but we will see. Let's keep going. Darth Revan, Night Sisters on defense. I normally use Empire on that. That's pretty easy. This is a very solid B-level team. It is a Hux lead First Order. So I'm going to put Hux, FO. And that team is not to be underestimated. It can do insane damage. It is one of the best non-GL teams. I'm honestly saying it's like a CLS team on defense. It really is. It's absolute insanity. It really is. It's a really, really great one. Northern Border says another Twitch stream. Now there are two of them. Twilight Tactics is like, what's up? 313. Yeah, boo, I know, right? Aura could bounty hunter that Hux. Yes, bounty hunter Hux is good, but I tell you, you don't underestimate that team. A lot of people do, and you got to be careful. Now, he took in, this person has pretty much all Relic 7 Geos. I don't. I have Relic 5 Geos, and you can see he lost 2 Geos. And I only have Relic 5. If I took in my Geos, this would be a bad way. This would be like, oh, he took in Geos, I should take in Geos. I would win. No, my level 5 Geos would probably lose. As soon as you start losing one Geo, the next Geo, next thing you know, the thing falls apart. He lost 2 Geos, Soldier and Poggle, and then mine are 5. Mine would probably fall off quickly. I definitely wouldn't suggest that on this team. He has General Grievous. That's not uncommon as a thing. I think I'd put Mon Mothma. It does have the Droideka, and it has the Magna Guard. Magna Guard and Droideka combined make for a anti-Mon Mothma team. So you really probably have to kind of change up your Mon Mothma to be hybrid, maybe using... Well, it actually makes for an easier win with your Night Sisters, actually, but it can go south if their Droideka happens to hit your Daka, which is what happened last time. Really upsetting, actually. So that's something you got to consider. So definitely Mon Mothma can do it, but you want to bring in maybe... I don't know. You have to mix it up, because the traditional Mon Mothma team is not going to be able to with the tank and the damage immunity. You're going to have a dispel. So maybe a really fast dispeller, like what's the leader? What's the female? She stuns and brings people back to life. I'm drawing a blank. She's super fast. Jyn Erso. There you go. Jyn Erso. Yeah, Jyn, Northern Border. She's pretty good. All right, Triumvirate. with Malik. Now that I have not seen on defense in a very long time, triumvirate, and he used a GL. That's actually a pretty solid team, a Sith triumvirate with Malik. Kind of interesting that he was able to Malik solo this Padme team. And the reason why I say that, while that's capable, it's really difficult because of 5 minutes. It shows that he was able to do it in 2.5, like almost 3 minutes. I've taken in my Malik against this team before on full auto, and it literally, if it stuns you, you could time out. This is a timeout potential. So this is really dangerous, actually, taking into Malik. If he doesn't get ramped up and get his tenacity up, which he gets every time he does his pull, you can get stun locked and get in timeout. Even though he doesn't die, potential for death. It's a potential for timing out. That's pretty amazing. He won in 3 minutes. That's kind of crazy. So. Okay, so let's see. Padme. I said Padme, not Padme. And then let's see. Newt team. So a Newt team. Newt teams are really don't underestimate a Newt team at all. And we'll put Jedi ? And then Geos. Wow, there's a lot there. Geos. Relic 7 for the most part. While it's super dirty, I actually, just because it's fun and I lose a lot of points, I don't really care. I actually like to just use my bombs, my Jawas. Jawas are fun. It saves me so many other teams for the other teams. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I know those two teams, and then he put Empire and Rebels. Empire and Rebels. Now, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at his other rounds just to see for consistency and or variance, because I'm going to be looking for other variants for him. So we'll go to defense first. And this person didn't even attack, which is why he won. So I can't see variance there. And this is a reason why I might go back to a previous season, or a previous week. This one he won defense. Let's see. So General Grievous, the same Rey 501st team, the same Padme team, although this time he got to put Commander Ahsoka with Padme. And this is a much more sophisticated Padme team. So I'm going to go over to Padme and I'm going to put GL by that, because that's a really powerful team now. And then you can see he's still got his Darth Revan. Geos, Mon Mothma, BAM, that is a variant. So a BAM team variant. And Newt. And so we've got Rey, CLS, Mon Mothma, Darth Revan. I didn't see the Night Sisters, so he put BAM instead of Night Sisters in. Everybody else, and then did I see Triumvirate? I didn't see the. Let's see. Did we see the Triumvirate team get put in there? Nope. So the Triumvirate team got taken out for kind of a superficial Sith team. So he did a couple of. He took one superficial team out for a good team and one good team for a superficial team. 2 swaps. But the rest, there's pretty big consistency. And then he beefed one team up really big time, really forcing your hand. Because man, Padme is amazing with Commander Ahsoka Tano. And that was round 3. Let's take a step back. We'll go to the week prior, and defense round 1 does not help us. He's got CLS on defense, Darth Revan on defense. He's got the Hux team. He's got GG. He's got the Rey with 501st. He's got the Bugs. He's got the Night Sisters, but he mixed it up with the lead with Asajj. Didn't help any. Got the BAM team again. And here's his triumvirate again. So this is with 2 strong teams instead of 1 weak, 1 strong. This week, he actually put in both his strong, left himself the weak Sith and the weak team out. And then, and it looks like he favors putting in Empire and Rebels or Empire and Holdo. Holdo is his alternate. That's good to note. And then let's go to round 3, Lord Cedric. Now, I tell you, he has a lot of really good luck because there's been a number of people that haven't attacked. All right. And then same team. The BAM team, same. And so he set the same defense on this. He just let it auto-deploy. The only difference is the ships. He actually put Rebels instead of Holdo on this. So he did 1 variant on this. And for the giggles, we'll go ahead and go 7-5 just to see if there's any more variants. This is what I suggest for you guys. And then we're almost ready to move into the offensive phase. Okay. So yes, now he did in this particular week, round 1, he did put a Kylo team on defense. So we're going to put Kylo as a possibility to be seen. And I circle anytime I see something that I believe to be basically, worthy of a GL, something that I would need to kill a GL with. And so there's potentially 3 teams he might set that would require a GL, 2 on average, but 3 potential. In this particular week, he did set his Jedi Master Kenobi, but the reason for that is it did not have an ultimate, so he felt like it was worthless, so he figured he would just set it on defense. Empire Holdo, there's his alternate. And this time he set only Kylo, so he only set really 1 GL, even though it looks like 2. I have fought the machine. I actually fought the machine. And the machine did not fight back on his. Interesting. And then he fought Hero. Hero beat me, and he beat Hero. Interesting. That's very good of him to beat Hero. Same defenses. Hero really undersizes everything. If you look at this, look at how good Hero does, which is amazing that he didn't. Oh man, Ray just single shot all of that. That's pretty amazing. But Hero used a lot of, look at all of the stuff he kept for offense. That's pretty amazing. He kept all that for offense. There's a mirror match. He used his, IT, which I would expect. Bounty Hunters against Hux, which you could definitely do. He lost, and I think that's because, which for the record is because that's a slow opening Bounty Hunter team. You really, against Hux, are giving them too much time. You're going to lose your aura, but you really need to have aura sing up front so you can get that ultimate off really, really quick. These are some pretty good teams. And it looks like he's pretty consistent with what he's using. Holdo is the alternate. And that was his 3rd. And then now let's go ahead and go into attacks. He likes to use IT, his Imperial Troopers. So I'm going to put that down. He prefers IT. And it tells you his attempts when they happen. So like his very first battle was at 744. His next battle is below that at 749. This is important because most people clear the teams in a logical fashion. They go to the bottom, clear it to see the back. And then once they see the back, they'll finish the back and then go to the top, or they'll go back and forth. But the most important is those first 4 teams. And so these top 4 are almost always what they're presenting in that bottom front row. And so this guy had, he had, Darth Revan, he had Rey, he had Bam, and he had Kylo showing. And that's 2 GLs and a Darth Revan and a Bam team. That's a lot of firepower in that front bottom row. And he took in, and it's pulled, 2 GLs plus a Ray team, a Ray Jedi training team, and an Imperial Trooper team, which he used successfully. He likes using Imperial Troopers. I have a trick for that. So I am definitely keeping that in the back of my head. let's see. The Rey Jedi training team, though, actually isn't Rey like I thought it was. It's just regular Rey. So that's not very strong, actually. And he got to just use an Empire team against it, which is solid. The BAM team, he got to use his Rey team versus it. So it was only one GL, actually. 1 versus 1 GL-wise. And it pulled Jedi Master Kenobi. Which, surprisingly, he had no ultimate, and he won with that. And then he did C-Watt on this Rex team, which, interesting to note, he decided to use a GL versus that. He did keep C. I like to know he keeps C. He likes to keep Jedi Master Kenobi. He'll probably, now that it's ultimated, keep his Jedi Master Luke. But let's see if he used Luke on offense. Yes, he did. He used Luke's on offense. Mon Mothma, he used. See how that was an easy, clean 60 points on that second-rate team? So that was really good use. All right. Solid shots. Okay, let's go back to the machine. It looks like Trash Team, Empire, that's a good counter. He uses Triumvirate, that's standard. He's really leaning in on his IT versus Darth Revan, which is fine. I'll set Darth Revan, but I'll trick it up a little bit. That's an easy team. That's an easy team. That's an easy team. Boy, he really had an easy win on this week. The machine set some easy stuff for him. IT, again, he really likes his IT versus those Darth Revans. Okay. And he likes to use his Jedi Master Kenobi versus Kylo. So we'll put Kylo probably in the front just to pull that GL out. And he likes to save his top, Malevolence and Negotiator, so he can do mirror matches. Now, if you notice, or not mirror matches, but the opposites, doing Negotiator against Malevolence, Malevolence against Negotiator. You lose almost 10 banners in this, which is really, really bad in that Malevolence versus Negotiator. That's a really tough battle. So I get why he's doing it. It's a guaranteed win. And so, it's kind of one of those things. Let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. Attack. Here, man, he's using Luke for the Geos. That's a really expensive counter he used. It's undersized, though. And he had all of his stuff. That was 61 banners. C again. He kept his first order this time for that. Imperial Troopers. That's a good use of his Imperial Troopers against a Moff Gideon team. I'll tell you what, Moff Gideon is a very solid defense team if you build it perfectly. If you build it right and you have the Zetas on Moff, man, that is one hell of a defense. It'll catch you by surprise if you've never gone against one. He did Jedi Master versus Jedi Knight Luke. That's a good counter. That was a crap team, so he did a good job using Bo. And that was a good job. Those are all undersized. Those are all really good. He does a good job utilizing his GLs for undersized. So if you notice this, he likes to get all those extra points because he likes to win, and he likes to use undersized. So I'm going to try to bait him to use those undersized teams by putting some of these teams that he favorites, by using some of those up front. Some solid teams like Padme. I'm going to put Padme up front, a Padme team that I think is really strong. And if he tries a non-GL against it, if he fails, he'll end up just taking in a GL, or he'll just say, screw it, I know I can solo this with a GL. And if he looks at my history, he'll see, well, normally he sets 2, so I'll just set, I've got 3 GLs on offense. I'll just use this GL. And I'm hoping I can catch him with an extra GL, one too many used. We're going to try and be defense heavy this battle because he likes to undersize. You can see that. He's very particular in his undersizing. Here's an undersized, 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 undersized. We got to punish him for this. We have got to make sure that because he does this, that we don't give him teams that he can do this and get away with it. And we need to make sure he's set up to think that he can do that and succeed, but then lose. So yeah. Ray with the Jawas, that's not a good team. It really isn't. That's an easy C-Watt. Apropos, like, don't tell my favorite strategy. And then whenever they trip, whenever you see them trip, this is another really good one right here. Whenever you see them lose, like he used Empire versus this Ray team. That's good. Take note. Okay, that tripped him up. That's a composition that he struggled with a counter that he thought he'd be successful on. Not that he would fail again, but take note of it. It's something you want to pay attention to. Same thing here. He thought his Bo-Katan team could take on this Night Sister team, and he ended up having to quit. And then he took in his Aura Singh team, and he had to quit. And then he took in a Kira team and quit. And look at this. This is, oh my God. He tried it all. He tried it all. Dun, dun, dun. I have a few of those battles, bros. No harm, no foul. And then let's go to the most recent round one offense. He, used GL versus GL, Luke versus Gas, Bounty Hunters versus Night Sisters, Empire versus Ray, GL versus GL. Ray, he likes Ray Jedi Training versus BAM. That's a really interesting counter that he has for that BAM team. It works if you can outspeed it. He must have some good speeds on his team. And then he's undersizing. Look at all these undersized. So Mon Mothma, he did Sith Eternal. Now, this was a little ways down. You can see he realized after the first 4 battles that he could use his, but he kept 1, 2, at least 3 GLs, 4 GLs this time. He kept 4 GLs on offense. To chew through. He only left 1 on defense, which means I can definitely go defense heavy. I can definitely go defense heavy. Let's see how he did on Sia. Sia didn't even attack. He used the Imperial Troopers. Wow, this was an auto deploy. This won't teach us anything. Auto deploys don't teach you anything. Honestly, they don't. And then lastly, this one, let's check this out. He used a C-Watt, but lots more in that C-Watt team, to take this team out. And it was the Jedi Master Kenobi, but with the Bad Batch. What's up, Astro Nerd Boy? And the Bad Batch team is, not very good underneath Jedi Master Kenobi as far as like counters for Grand Arena. This will actually set you up for failure. And Jedi Knight Skywalker and Shakti, you can see he knows how to use these undersized squads real well. This is a really tough First Order team, and he took it out with just 2. That's really good. Again, he used his IT for Darth Revan. We've definitely got to set that team that I'm thinking of. Padme pulled an Empire team. I definitely don't want him to have his Vader, so I'm definitely going to set that up front. And then he's got, again, all these undersized. He's really tempted to do undersized. Now, these are 3 what I would call mediocre teams. That's why he undersizes. I'm not going to give him a mediocre team to undersize. Or if he thinks it's mediocre, it won't be. There's not going to be an easy piece on my board for him to undersize. And if he does it, he should regret it. And then he's losing, 65 and 64. He's doing some pretty good banner work up here. Looks like he's keeping the best for defense. He really does. He keeps the best for defense. So I'll have to take a look at his Rebel ships to see what his Rebel ship speeds are so I can determine whether I want to do that. He does love his Rebels on fleet. I'll have to take a look at his Rebels. And then let's see. That was round 3. So I have an idea now of the fact that this guy loves to undersize. Undersizing is good if you're going against really weak teams, but if you favor that too much, you can potentially trip, especially on teams that are really strong. And I know he favors specific counters to specific teams. Like he always uses Jedi Master Luke versus Jedi Master Kenobi kind of thing. And so this is going to be a fun battle. I'm going to set all my teams specific to what I've seen. I do have to do a little bit of ships research on him. I'm going to go into his account and take a look at his ships to see rebels, because I might trick up my ships a little bit differently than what I've done in the past. I tend to, that's where I'm a creature of habit, is ships. Ships is bad. I tend to just kind of do the same thing every time. I've got to really mix up ships. Everywhere else, I'm really, really good. And then I'd like to try and find time on Friday morning, if I can, to stream my battles and see how well he did, and then also stream my battles for you guys and see how well our strategizing worked. I'm going to come through and try and figure out all the teams I set, all the teams I believe he's going to set, and all my counters that we'll use for the teams I believe that he'll set. We'll check it out. Anyway, I appreciate all of you, the 20 to 30 of you that came on to check out my Grand Arena strategizing. I don't know if any of you do this exact, how it looks different or any of that. Feel free to chat below on all of that. I am now off quickly to go do my birthday dinner with all of my family. So I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.